Hello and welcome to this next Lukozer retro game review video. And for this one it is a bit of a classic in Barbarian for the Commodore 64. And when this came along, although beat 'em ups were hardly rare, they weren't like this. And it caused a bit of a stir in the day because it was considered by some, usually the Mariah Whittaker Brigade, to be far too violent, not least because you could of course prematurely end the contest by decapitating your opponent. It also caused quite a stir insofar as the advertising campaign and the front cover of the game and the free poster that you got with it, which featured none other than Mariah Whittaker in an extremely gratuitous role, seeing as the character that I think she was supposed to be portraying isn't actually in the game anywhere. Nevertheless, I did buy the game back in the day. Not for the Mariah Whittaker poster. I actually had some different Mariah Whittaker posters on my bedroom wall in those days, and they were a lot better than the one you got here, I'll tell you that. The object of the game is pretty simple. Beat the fuck out of the person standing in front of you, using a variety of moves, just like any other beat 'em up. So let's see if I can get about starting the game up. One player, and there we go. Now hopefully this will work, because for some reason my gamepad buttons have been getting a bit stuck lately. So I am the player on the left who has already taken 3 hits from the easiest opponent. At last I get a couple of hits in. Now I'm starting to get somewhere. Spoke too soon. And I was always very temperamental at this game. One moment I would do really well, and then the next I'd be absolute shite, and as looks to be the case here, I would be, get the piss beaten out of me by the first enemy. But my strategy often involved trying to trap them against the wall, and to a degree I've got that done. And yeah, this is I'm not actually pressing any of the attack buttons, but I'm doing attack moves instead of just actually walking or rolling into them. And this is going to be a close one thing, but yeah, okay, I finally finished him off. In comes the goblin, who drags the corpse away, and we make our way to the second opponent. Now there is one opponent. It's usually the third one, but I think I can do it with this one as well. No, that move I did just then is the move to try and decapitate the other bloke, which results in the contest, if you can call it that, or the battle ending straight away. But it does take a while to actually do the move. It's the most easily defendable move. I think we both went ahead by each other there, so this was another of those games. Well, saying that, it's not like I had a lot of them. In fact, this may have been the only other one, along with Arkanoid 2, that I had for both the Commodore 64 and the Amiga. And the Amiga version graphically didn't look that much different actually to this. Yes, it did look better, slightly better. But where the Amiga version really shone was in the sound. The sounds in the Amiga game were all sampled from the film Red Sonja, and yeah, they were quite impressive sort of battle sound effects. This is very close, but I suspect, yeah, I've just bought it. I did extremely badly there. And I know I'm going to sound like I'm blaming the equipment, but there are a lot of times where I'm doing attack moves even though I'm not actually pressing the fire button. So I don't know why they're doing that. So I'll have one more go, see if I can do any better, which is unlikely, but you never know. And I'll also see if I can actually take someone's head off. See, again, I'm trying to roll, not kick. And here I'm trying to actually run, not right, that's the move to take the head off there. If I made contact with him, his head would have come off. But see, again, I'm kicking mid-air but not actually pressing the fire button, so it's annoying me. But I'll ignore that from the when giving the final review score. Oh, that was close. Because I've never encountered that problem before with the 64, so I assume it is my computer that's doing it and not, you know, the game fucking up, or the, you know, it's not. There we go, took his head off. I knew I'd get there eventually. So the goblin kicks the head away and drags off the headless corpse. I mean, I was beating him by quite a bit anyway, so, you know, I did alright. But it's particularly satisfying if, you know, your enemy has got you down to like 1 health and you've barely laid a hit on him, and then you do that and you win anyway. Okay, that again, I was meant to be walking backwards, but it did an attack move, but in this case it worked out quite well. So that's 2 wins, 2 decapitations. So he didn't lay a single hit on me in that one. Now, back in the day, this was the guy where you could do that move straight away and it would, yeah, you go, get an instant victory. So that was one of the shortest bouts, you know, you will ever see. 3 wins, 3 decapitations, and that's the second opponent on the trot who failed to land a single hit on me. So let's see if I can get away with it again. Oh, fucking nearly did. Now, it was around the 4th or... Oh, that was close. It was around the 4th or 5th opponent that would usually finish me off in the original. On the Amiga version, I could make it right the way through the one-player game to the actual end stage where you're trying to then catch this wizard guy who shows up. I don't think he's in the 64 version. Don't quote me on that though. Oh, here we go again. I'm trying to just walk forward and I thought he was going to do me then, because I can't do anything other than attack. It's not letting me just, you know, fucking move. All I want to do is move. I don't want to actually attack at the moment. There you go. Right, so, well, even though it was acting up big time, it seems to have let me win by half a point, narrowest margin there is. So on to number 5. Now this bloke is certainly going to finish me off. I don't have a realistic hope in hell here, especially when I'm constantly kicking when I'm trying to move. Okay, well, I laid 2 hits on him now. Come on. I'm definitely out of this one. Because now we're on opposite sides, my controls now of course all get reversed. I think, how many hits has he got to get? Just 2 more. So I don't have a hope in hell. I've still got to get 7 against him. Well, the controls are back to normal now. Yeah, okay, one more hit and I'm down. There it is. So, well, I didn't do too badly there, I guess. I got up to the 5th opponent, which is reasonable for me. He absolutely beat the shit out of me, though, that guy. So that's Barbarian. It's, you know, it's a beat 'em up, and you know what they're all about. You either love them or you hate them. Although that said, some beat 'em ups I think are great, and this is one of them. I do think is a really good game. And some you can't stand. For example, I can't stand Warrior the Exploding Fist. Largely because I think it's rather pretentious with its title and most of the other bollocks that goes with it. International Karate beats it fucking hands down. So I like the violence in it. I got no problem with that. I like the fact that you can cut someone's head off. Who wouldn't? So, you know, the very White House Brigade can all fuck off as far as, you know, complaining that it's too violent. Well, bollocks to it. Is it too violent? What do you expect when it's a game that involves, you know, 2 bloody barbarians hacking away at each other with swords? So I will give this I'll give it 8 out of 10. Gameplay is great. Graphics are pretty good. Sound is adequate without being anything remarkable. And yeah, it's got everything that you want from a decent beat 'em up, including a superb insta-kill move. So yes, that's Barbarian. 8 out of 10 from me. I think that means he agrees. And yeah, if you didn't have it today, you definitely one of a very small number if you didn't. And it was, well, it still is well worth having, or at least well worth trying. And if you can find the Amiga version and you have an Amiga emulator, so much the better. Give that one a go as well. Because as well as the same game, it plays just as well in the Amiga version, but you get much better sound, and it does help with the atmosphere. It makes the fight seem that little bit more violent. So there we go. Barbarian, 8 out of 10. Good stuff. And we shall see you at the next video.